I don't really like to mix I don't really like. I don't mix business and pleasure when it comes to this kind of stuff because it's like it has to like happen. Hey, it's Lance McGowan here, and welcome to part 6 of the Shapr app video series that I'm doing on learning the best practices as well as mistakes to avoid when trying to network with folks in general, whether it's in person, but specifically on the Shapr app, which is online on my phone, and I'm just viewing the messages on my laptop, so the app is actually on the phone. But anyways, Shapr is a online way to network with more individuals in a more meaningful way, and they do so through kind of like think of Tinder, which is the dating app, mixed with LinkedIn, which is a social media, company that focuses on business and working and, just showing what you've done in those realms. It's like they came together, had a baby, but it has nothing to do with dating. Shapr, Shapr's not affiliated with each company. It's just a way for me to help, conceptualize, hey, Shaper's a way to connect with folks online and more of a networking for business professionals. And I've been using it since last year in 2018, around July area. And so I was introduced by a client of mine, and that was really interesting. And I've just been building relationships. And today's conversation is I'm gonna have to mask her name and use a different name. We're gonna call her Patricia for today because we actually met up and some interesting stuff happened that I don't want her to watch this video and actually, put her on blast. So we're gonna call her Patricia, but yeah. Okay, so she's from Las Vegas, and some of her hashtags on her profile says personal development, hashtag healthy living, hashtag wellness, hashtag motivation, hashtag inspiration. And her current goals are mentor others, grow her business, and find freelance gigs. And her description in her profile says women's life and biz coach. She says, I help women to rise above their limiting beliefs and create a life on their terms. She's a fitness coach, podcast host, and she's a lifestyle entrepreneur. And I believe it says boss, maybe boss babe. I'm not sure, just boss, BOS, maybe something got cut off. Okay, so this is interesting because she started off the interaction with a message. So, I see that as a good sign when we both swipe right and match because, we initially saw some value in the connection. She initiated, usually I initiate, but, sometimes people initiate, which is cool to see. I appreciate that too. She says, Hi, Lance. Hope your July has been amazing. So this is a case study from last year, clearly. She says, I know we connected on Instagram since you also do essential oils. That's right. Hello. Okay. She says, I'm excited to learn more about what you are creating this year, what you're passionate about, and how we can support each other. Let's schedule a conversation to get to know each other and see if there's synergy or any way we can support each other. If you're up for it, send me your booking link to schedule a 30-minute connection call, or we can use mine. Okay, all right. Connect with this link to book a call in my scheduler. So she gave her link for that. And she says, one of my favorite passions is empowering women to step into their power and be more confident. I'd love it if you check out my podcast here. So she gave that podcast link. Boom. And she said, let me know what you're working on that I can check out. So that was cool. I appreciated that welcome message. She took the time to write a detailed and thorough message. It didn't seem like a full copy and paste. It seemed like she actually spent some time to, see that we had connected on Instagram. So if you haven't already followed me on Instagram, it's @EssentialOilsMe. Okay, low plug, shameless plug. Okay. And then, she gave some other information and was interested in whatever I had to offer too. So that's cool. So I sent a message back and I said, thank you for the message. Does, this day at 2 p.m. work for a 20-minute call to learn more about what we each do and if there's a fit or referral opportunity? And that's the way you've probably seen in my other videos I frame things up because that is at the end of the day what I'm trying to do. And if we're trying to implement some best practices here, that's what we all should be doing when we're networking. It's not let me hard sell you on a product, let me hard sell you on a business opportunity. No, let's find out what your needs are, find out what your goals are. Let's see if there's a good fit. If it's not, then what's the referral opportunity for, both ways, because there may be somebody that could be a better fit. And so that's so important to keep in mind. And I think a lot of people don't. They're just, like, whether it's in-person networking or, online with the Shapr app here. She says, yes, perfect. Just added it to my schedule. Have an amazing weekend and talk then. I think that is when I had already gone to her website and scheduled it. So I'd done that as well. Okay, so boom. I said, sounds good. My cell is, and then gave her my cell. And I said, have a great weekend. She says, great. Mine is, she gave her cell. She said, same to you. I said, thank you. Talk to you in August. So that is what had happened. So again, case study. We're learning from the past. A blast from the past. There we go. She follows up and says, hi, Lance. I hope you're having an amazing weekend. Is there any way we can do our call at 1:40 p.m. instead of 2 p.m., please? My schedule got all moved around due to travels. Let me know, and thank you for your flexibility. All right, so she wanted to reschedule, which is cool. She didn't just like ignore that and then not show up for the call, which has happened with some people, where they basically, it's called like a no call, no show. When I worked for my previous employer, that could get somebody fired. But when we're networking and trying to build relationships, it's just, I guess you fire them from your connections list. I don't know. But anyways, it was cool. I'm trying to say that she actually still wanted to reschedule, and she gave out a counter time, which is awesome. So communication is key, very key. And I try to do that myself. Golden rule, treat others the way you want to be treated. Nobody likes to be ignored, neglected, ghosted, disappeared on, not communicated to, so boom. All right. I said, no problem. We can reschedule to another day since I have some other work commitments before and after then. So yeah, I got stuff going on too. So it's just kind of trying to figure out, when our schedules line up so we can make that connection happen. And then she says, thank you for your understanding. Can we do then next week? Let me know. I said, for sure. Does next Monday or Tuesday work for you? She says, just got back from travels. So she responded back like a week later. She says, if you have any availability tomorrow, text me at her number. Somehow I missed on messages here. So yeah, I get that. It's easy to, because if you're actually doing the Shapr app, then it's easy to have a bunch of matches or people that you need to respond back to. And if you have your notifications turned on, either you can get flooded with notifications sometimes because you have text messages, you got emails, now you have Shapr app stuff. But for me, I've turned off notifications, so I have to actually just go into the app in order to see what's going on that day. And that allows me to, because I get the little red, on my iPhone, I get the little red notification that I have messages, but I don't get like a bing or a ding or an email or anything like that, or like one of those notifications. It's just I have to go into the app, which is what I prefer, so I don't get like inundated with everything else going on. And that's how I set up a lot of stuff, like, because yeah, you can just get flooded with messages. It is nice from a dopamine release standpoint because you get the reward center of the bing or the ding or the beep, whatever, all that stuff with new messages. But I'm good. Yeah. I said, no problem. I'll shoot you a text. All right, so we fast forward a little bit and we actually met up, or actually we talked on the phone first, and it went well. We kind of talked about it, what we do. And she said she had been following me for like a couple years. So I was just like, okay, all right. That's cool. And then we met up and we talked about like a collaboration. So we actually did a collaboration video, which was cool. And then what ended up happening is at the end of that collaboration video, I think I remember saying something like, hey, when you want to connect again, let me know. Because I always leave it like balls in their court, like, hey, thanks for coming over and all that. And the part that was interesting about this is she mentioned something about like moving in or something like that. Something along those lines. And then I didn't even think of it, anything of it at the time. And then she'd also mentioned something about, because I had one of my cars outside, she had mentioned something about needing a new car. So I was just like, all right, so she's thinking about, maybe more than the business side, but hey, it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do, right? And then I haven't heard from her in a while, so I was just like, sometimes they pop up in your social media feed, or you see some post or something that they do, and I just looked it up, and I think I learned that she had through one of her posts been married and divorced, and basically she's now just like a health coach, and I'm just like, okay, so maybe she was looking for a little financial stability, and we just connected on Shapr, to kind of line things up, and then maybe she was looking for something more, but I didn't pursue anything else from a business or personal standpoint. I don't really like to mix I say don't really like, I don't mix business and pleasure when it comes to this kind of stuff, because it's like it has to like happen naturally and be mutual, and I have to not see any red flags, or I need to make sure that they are bringing a lot to the table and making sure that there's some other things I look for, but we're not going to cover that because it's not a relationship video. So, okay. But if you want to know, like, you can message me and I can let you know. I can keep it real with you on there. But anyways, we're going to keep it, focused on Shapr and stuff like that. But point I'm trying to make is, because you're like, what is the point of you sharing all of that, Lance? Basically, when we meet with people, sometimes people are looking for different things, and sometimes that is very clear, and sometimes that's not clear. And then sometimes after you even meet with folks, they disappear, and they may reappear social media wise, but not in real life. And for me, this is all part of the 3 things that I will close with, which is move towards people that move towards you, which she was in the beginning, and then after we met, not so much. And then when they don't move towards you, talk to the next person, which I get matches every day because I'm in the app. And so that's what I do. And number 3 is some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. And one of the interesting things is that she was actually part of another network marketing company, but she was also a health coach. I think it was Isogenics. But I mean, it's so important. I didn't get that vibe from her, which is cool. I think she understands sales. But sometimes people really hard sell the products or the business opportunity without really understanding the prospect's needs and goals. And this book here, Go Pro by Eric Worre, will help people in network marketing to prospect, to present, and to close more effectively in a way that really tries to understand what the customer's needs and goals are. And you can get this book for free by using the link in my description below. You just pay for shipping. It's actually Eric Worre's link. So, but yeah, this comes with the audio version too. Amazing resource. And even if you aren't in network marketing, you still understand, what they go through, and so you can better appreciate stuff. Because first there's awareness, then there's understanding, and then there's appreciation. So we have to be aware of how to do things best practice-wise. And then the other resource, whether you are in network marketing or not, is StrengthsFinder 2.0. You've seen me present these books and the other videos that I do, and that's because these are very valuable resources in understanding yourself and how to do things better so that you can interact with others more effectively. And that's either online or in person. And the StrengthsFinder lets you take a little test, and then you know what your top 5 strengths are, so you can better leverage that in your work, your personal life, and other areas, and surround yourself with people who want to leverage your strengths as well, and not get jealous of them or compete with you on your strengths, but will be like, I see you, let's help, how can we support each other? And then with regards to your weaknesses, they don't beat you up over the head over your weaknesses, but they're just like, hey, those are things that we can work on, but let's really focus on leveraging your strengths. Let's acknowledge the weaknesses, but let's not live there. Let's say, all right, how do we really leverage your strengths? And this book is a great way to start that. Well, that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, you got some value out of the video and learned a little something new, and maybe you're like, okay, I'm gonna check out this Shapr app, and I'm gonna do a little personal development with some books and some resources, and maybe, do some of the things that he said, maybe not do some of the things he said that were mistakes, and then go from there. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit the like button, hit subscribe for future video updates, and most importantly, check out the links in the description below so you can download that Shapr app on your phone and continue to get your network on and develop more meaningful relationships. And, it is a little bit trial and error sometimes, and it's a numbers game in the sense that you got to talk to a lot of people, but that's part of the process, and it's about enjoying the process, or trying to enjoy the process, and finding out and really knowing what you're looking for. So without further ado, I will see you in the next video.